Hello, my name is Clara McCumber. I am from San Antonio, and I am 63, going on 64 years old, as a matter of fact, in a couple of weeks. I am a BRCA positive female. I wear a pin with 3 black stones on it to honor my father that passed away with pancreatic cancer at 71. The second stone is for my niece who passed away at 44 with breast cancer. And the last stone is my sister, Carmen. She passed away with ovarian cancer. So I have a long line of cancer in the family and have had a lot of losses in the family. The reason why I'm here is because prior to my sister passing away, I promised her that I would take the test and find out whether I was positive or negative. And of course I'm here, positive. I was positive. And the reason why I am here is because I promised to her, my last conversation with her was that she told me, sis, you need to take this test. And if it is positive, you need to do what needs to be done to be around for your children. And that's basically the main reason why I decided to do this journey, which was a very difficult one. It was scary, but during the whole process of deciding whether or not to have this double mastectomy, I think I was afraid to have the surgery, but my fear of having cancer was even greater. So I think that's the biggest drive, the biggest reason why I decided to do this. And really just remembering my sister saying that she wished she would have had that opportunity to be where I am right now. And she also wished that she would have been able to convince my niece, her daughter, to do the same. It's been a long, kind of a journey that is, you hear it, that I held my breath year after year after year after I took the test. And I will admit that after I found out that I was BRCA positive, my first option was to have a hysterectomy, total hysterectomy. I was 55 at the time, and I was going through menopause, so that was kind of a no-brainer. You know, I had my 3 beautiful daughters, and I just wanted, that was the easy part of the whole journey with this whole cancer and BRCA positive. Having the double mastectomy, of course, was a lot harder. Being recently divorced and having my family doctor bugging me almost every 6 months or every year to, you know, when are you going to take the next step? And it was a harder step to take. But thanks to her, I had my my total hysterectomy in 2010, and then my double mastectomy with the deep flap reconstruction in 2014. And of course, after my total hysterectomy, I kind of threw it under the rug. I thought, no, I'll wait. But there was a celebrity that came out with it publicly. And my daughters were kind of persistent, and my doctor also were very persistent that I take the next step. And her first referral was PRMA, because she does a lot of work and with you guys, and she said that y'all were, PRMA was a very well known and established organization, and dealt a lot with breast cancer. So it's been a wonderful. The staff here has been totally wonderful, fantastic. I finished my third process, which was my last step, with Heather, which is an awesome staff member, and very patient. Because, like they say, when you have to deal with something like with cancer, you do go on a roller coaster ride. You know, you're good and then you're bad, and you worry, and then it is a total roller coaster ride. I had my double mastectomy with deep flap reconstruction last year. It's been a year, and I remember laying in the hospital bed, and like on my third day, I was sitting there, just so depressed. So, well, I didn't have the cancer, and I thought to myself, why did I go through all of this? You know, I'm sitting there with the drain, all these drains. I'm sitting there, you know, comfortable, but thinking, why did I do this? I can't believe that I did this. But then my sister memory always popped back in my mind. And I remember on my fourth day, Dr. Vista came in and to check on me, and he said, the good news that I have for you is that the breast tissues that were removed turn out to have precancer cells. And he said that my timing was impeccable. He said that if I would have waited another 5-6 months, I would have definitely developed the cancer gene. And when he was there to visit me, I was half asleep, 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, and then I started crying, because prior to that I was crying out to God, saying, why did I do that? And within 2 hours he walks in. And I thought to myself, I must be dreaming, I was half asleep. So I waited, I said, okay, well, I need another doctor's opinion, right? So within an hour or two, my other doctor, the one that surgically removed my breast, came in, and she gave me a hug. And she said, again, she confirmed what Dr. Rista had said, that if I would have waited 5-6 months, my story would be totally different. And ever since then, I am, what can I say? In February of this 2015, I would be battling a different, I would be fighting a different battle, and I would not be where I am right now. So I will not ever regret my decision. And I talk to women to get the test. And of course, at being a concierge at one of the hotels, a lot of my guests from all over the country have been following me, following my story, my journey through this, and I tell them what wonderful staff you have, and the doctors are wonderful, and it's a really successful story for me right now. I don't know what the future holds, but I really, right now, just am so thankful for my sister's last words to me. And I remember being in the hospital thinking, why did I do this? What is the purpose of this? Of going through all this? And I thought to myself, maybe if I will be able to help one person down the road make a good choice, that would be enough for me to help one more individual.
And your daughter.
Little did I know that what I went through would benefit my daughter.
Well, fitting. Hi, my name is Reyna. I am 34 years old, and so with this gene that she was speaking of earlier. It's the BRCA1 gene that she had tested positive for in 2010, was it? So me and my sisters knew that it would be a testing that we would have to do someday, and just kind of put it off for a bit. And I'd left to live out of the country for a few years and had a scare that made me want to get serious about doing the genetic testing to see if I tested positive for the BRCA1 gene. And I came when she was actually when she had a mastectomy, the day of her mastectomy and DIEP reconstruction. I went with a friend to our family care physician to get a referral to be able to go get tested. And so within a week or two of her surgery, I found out that I was positive for the gene mutation as well. Our story is a bit different. So the gene mutation puts you at high risk for ovarian and breast cancer. So when I sat down to talk to my genetic counselor, I was mentally prepared for them to start talking about mastectomies and removing of the breast, because like she said, my cousin, her niece, she was diagnosed with breast cancer in her late 30s.
She was 32.
32 years old, and she just, it consumed her up until she was 44. And so I was prepared for them to talk about my breast and the actions that were going to be needing for that, and I was kind of shocked when they sat down and initially just started talking about my ovaries. I'm very single with no children, so when they started talking about me needing to remove my ovaries, it's kind of heartbreaking, because I still want a family. I'm still wanting that season of my life to happen. So I wasn't expecting it, but they were very real with me needing to take care of that. And they did talk about my breast as well. That given that my age, which I thought 30 was the new 20, but apparently biologically it's not. I'm at the age where if I want to be preventative, it's the ideal to do it, given that all my mammograms came back completely healthy, no signs of anything. So in going through, when I started focusing in on my breast, and okay, I want my ovaries, let me, if I can diffuse 2 of the ticking time bombs that are in my body, I'm more comfortable with my breast. Still very hard, like she had said, an emotional roller coaster, but I was more willing to talk about having to remove my chest, my breast, before my ovaries. So that's what I started focusing in on. And so when I would go for my mastectomies, when I would go for the mammograms and MRIs and stuff, it messes with your head when in the same sentence people say, okay, everything's healthy, let's talk about removing them. Because you just said that everything's healthy, why do I need to remove them? But it is just because, since there is no sign yet of any sort of breast cancer, that this is the time to do it, as opposed to slightest detection. With this gene mutation, the more aggressive tumors tend to develop, and treatment is just way more aggressive. So better to do it now, while there's no sign of anything, just to remove and all that good stuff. So, and my mom was right. When I had started searching, doing research and looking into doctors, and the surgeon who did the mastectomy, and researching, PRMA was not my first choice, just because I had my insurance, my work insurance, were going to cover 100%, and if I went with a certain hospital that PRMA didn't work with. So I explored other options, but when it came down to it, Dr. Risha did such a wonderful job with her, and the staff here were, they handled her very, as one would hope somebody would treat their mama. So I felt the comfort in that, and so I did come here and get Dr. Risha's opinion and see what he could do. I initially wanted the DIEP flap just because I don't like the idea of silicone in my body for the rest of my life. But he was very honest in saying he could gather tissue from all over my body to create a chest, not having to use silicone, but just how that would kind of scar me up. So he recommended the tissue expanders to silicone implants, the exchange surgery. So last June I underwent my mastectomy with Reconstruction. I'm still currently in the Reconstruction phase. I shall be done in December. It's been an experience. I think in things like this, it was easier for me to go ahead and decide to go on with the mastectomy one, because I had seen just how beautifully my mom went through it, and just the technology that exists today to where doctors can remove a body part and then other surgeons step in and totally reconstruct it. It's mind-blowing. If this would have happened to me 20 years ago, would I have been as willing to go through with a double preventative mastectomy? I don't think so, like in the fact that body image is still very huge. If I'm out in the dating realm and I want to get married one day, like that, it's hard. It plays on your body image. And so the fact that, even right now I appear totally normal, they're hard as rocks, but like appearance-wise, I could still have a healthy self-esteem. And so I'm very grateful and blessed that I live in a time to where this reconstruction is available, and just the wonders that it does for men all over the world. And very lucky that PRMA is here in San Antonio, to where we didn't have to travel across the country.
Being a concierge at a hotel, I meet guests from all over the world, and I have a lot of my guests that are professional medical people that come here to San Antonio. I have patients that are traveling from all over the United States and Mexico that come to the United States to get this kind of procedure done. And I'm the first one to tell them about PRMA. And in that process, in the whole year, when I mention PRMA, a lot of the professional people that come in do say that my choice in a group of doctors was beautiful, because they are very well known, and that really helped me in saying, yes, I've made a really good decision. And I tell everybody about PRMA. I tell them that the doctors are great, the hospital and the staff here is unbelievable. I really felt, and I tell everybody, that this has been the best decision. I don't have to hold my breath anymore as far as my yearly 6 months checkup. It's like you hold your breath and you keep thinking, oh, what are they going to tell me? So this has given me such a peace of mind. And of course I do have the gene, and there's the chance that down the road,
the mastectomy lowers our chance by 95%. We were at an 87% chance of developing breast cancer, and doing the mastectomy lowered it by 95%. So we're now lower risk than the general population, because the mastectomy doesn't remove all breast tissue, but it's still a small little chance that it could still develop, but we just lowered our risk significantly.
So we're here after a year, and hopefully
like 6 months.
Yeah, hopefully after December
we'll be done and all that.
We'll be both done, and we do have my oldest daughter did test negative. We still have my younger daughter that hasn't been tested yet, but we're pushing, and we want her to be aware and take care of herself. Like my sister said, if I would have had the opportunity, I would have done anything I could have. be at this risk and to live a little bit longer. And until then, I'm going to keep remembering what my sister said and thank her so much for her guidance. And she's still an awesome sister, even though she's not around.